What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. And even on the day of my birthday, it's still another day, another WWE news video, and there isn't a whole lot to talk about for today's video, but there are some bangers, including these two bangers, which one I'll be talking about to kick off the video, and this second one. Apparently, Rhea Ripley has offered Liv Morgan to join the Judgment Day? What's that about? Wonder why. This one, though, it might just be as good as done. Pun intended, because we have a brand new update on the return of Sasha Banks and Naomi to WWE. Now, if you guys do not know or do not remember, or actually, let me rephrase. If you guys are new to this channel and you guys are new to watching WWE, allow me to explain. Earlier this year, Sasha Banks and Naomi returned as a tag team to win the WWE Women's Tag Team titles at WrestleMania, which I think was on Saturday, if I remember right. Look back on the book. Nope, it was night 2, WrestleMania Sunday, where Sasha Banks actually pinned Carmella to win the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. Later on, within like a couple months, excuse me, there was a 6-pack challenge, or rather, there was supposed to have been a 6-pack challenge where the winner would go on to face Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's title. I believe it was at Hell in a Cell, if I remember correctly, and it ended up being Asuka. But you're wondering, how did Asuka win a 6-pack challenge? The odds are very slim. Yes, the odds would be slim had it not been for what happened. The head of talent relations, who we can now confirm has been fired from WWE. We can now confirm that, obviously. Told the girls that they were going to be in this 6-pack challenge, and they were just upset. They were frustrated. They wanted nothing to do with the match, so they handed their tag team titles to the head of talent relations with their bags in tow and just left. They up and left. Because of their actions, they ended up getting suspended indefinitely, and they have been and they were stripped of the women's tag team titles. And now we can confirm that we do have a tournament to crown brand new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, and my Instagram story just keeps piling up. It just keeps piling up. Hang on, guys. So the tournament, I believe, consists of, tag teams such as some newly formed teams, which include Dakota Kai and Io Sky from Raw, Doudrop and Nikki ASH, and just several other tag teams as well on the roster, which I'm actually going to look up right now. Finally got onto. Let's see. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm like trying to find something. I'm trying to find the tournament bracket, but I can't seem to find it anywhere on Instagram, unfortunately. But finally, here we are. So as of right now, before the the first match that came to pass, the tournament brackets were as follows: Tamina and Dana Brooke versus Io Sky and Dakota Kai. And then of course, Bliss and Asuka against Doudrop and Nikki ASH from Raw. From the SmackDown side of things, we have Aaliyah and Raquel Rodriguez taking on Shotzi and Xia Li, and then we also have Sonya Deville and Natalya against NXT 2.0's Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark, which is going to be interesting because with Stark and Lyons, sort of new to WWE. I'm curious as to how Deville and Natty are going to gel against a team like that. So as of now, we know that Kai and Sky both advanced into the semifinals. So we don't know which match from SmackDown will take place first, but I can tell you that that's taking place. And we can confirm that supposedly their Banks and Naomi's return is pretty much imminent. It's as good as done. How, you may ask? It's simple. It's very, very simple because this has happened before with Sasha Banks. Because if you guys remember, in 2019, when she and Bayley first became WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, they were told that they were going to lose the titles at WrestleMania, and they sat on the floor in a hallway, just screamed out, that they were frustrated, and they ended up leaving. Or actually, Sasha Banks left after WrestleMania. She was gone for a few months, kept posting cryptic posts on social media, and now it's the blue that we have now. Actually, that's not true. She has different colors. Her hair is completely different. Literally, her hair is like so different right now. She basically has a rainbow color. So big shout outs to Sasha Banks as always, but that's her new do. And I have to admit, the hairstyle actually looks pretty good. I have to admit, but apparently their return is as good as done, and this was reported by Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer. He spoke on the latest episode of the Saturday Night Main Event podcast. Big shout out as always. No copyrights. As always, he said that despite contracts yet to be put pen to paper, apparently the former tag team champions are indeed on their way back to WWE. He explained via WrestlingNews.co. Big shout out again. No copyrights as always. He explained, saying, quote, last week, which is the last I checked. Oh wait, hang on, guys. I forgot to put music on. I forgot to put some music on. Oh my god, I am stupid. This one. There we go. Shoutouts to the game Ocarina of Time. I got the Serenade of Water. Where? No, wait. Where was I again? Oh, right, Dave Meltzer. He explained, saying, "quote Last week, which is the last I checked, the contract hadn't been signed, but they were all expecting that it was happening. They, which being WWE, Sasha Banks, and Naomi, were all on the same page. I was basically told it's as good as done, but they haven't signed, so it could fall through. They may have already signed by now, but a week ago, I was told they're back. It could be tomorrow. It could be in a couple of weeks. It's whatever day they want. They are probably pacing things. You don't want to show all your cards in week one. You want to have something big to talk about every week for the next couple weeks. An agreement in principle was reached over a week ago." And of course, when he said week one, it was in regards to the WWE creative team now being under the leadership of Triple H, obviously. And of course, too, as I mentioned before, the tournament to crown new tag team champions has started, and there's been a lot of speculation that whoever wins the tournament and becomes the champions, Banks and Naomi are going to evidently take the titles off of them, to which they basically just reclaim what they never lost, which would be possible, but it depends on who wins. If let's say, for example, Dakota Kai and Io Sky win the whole thing. Let's say that. That means that, technically speaking, Banks and Naomi would be coming back as the baby faces, going up against a heel team in Dakota Kai and Io Sky, which obviously means that Bayley will be in their corner and Sasha Banks would be at a bit of a crossroads because of the fact that she and Bayley became the first ever tag team champions. Not once, but twice they were champions together, and it's a possibility that Banks could turn on Naomi, which is a possibility, but I mean, now with Triple H in charge of creative, it's a possibility. It's a possibility that we could see Banks and Naomi as tag team champions, and that and now also too, there's been rumors going around saying that Triple H plans to strengthen the roster across Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and NXT UK by bringing back some of the talent that we had lost over the last couple years, which could be guys like Bray Wyatt, guys like Braun Strowman, guys like EC3, Zack Ryder. We could even also see Jon Moxley or Dean Ambrose back in WWE, which honestly it wouldn't be that much of a bad idea, but it all depends. But it all depends on Triple H. It all depends on what he wants to do in WWE. But as far as this goes, honestly, I'm kind of split about this whole situation because they disappointed their fans. They disappointed us as their fans. They had no right to do something that horrible as to, give up the tag team titles for their own, just for their own selfish gain. It's just so stupid. But at the same time, hang on, guys. I apologize. I'm back on my Instagram. So I do apologize, but yeah, they not only did they disappoint the entire WWE, they disappointed the fans, they disappointed their friends, their family, they disappointed everybody, and it got to a point where it got to a point where everybody was basically having mixed mixed feelings about Banks and Naomi. Some people wanted to see them stay in WWE. Others were like, you know what, fuck them. If they're gonna do this to us, they don't deserve to be in WWE. At this point, for me, I'm kind of like torn in the middle, but that's just me. That's just me. But you know what? Fuck it. This brings me. Excuse me. This brings me to the question of the day. Do you guys want to see Sasha Banks and Naomi back in WWE? Post in the comments below. I'm curious as to what you guys have to say, because I truly believe that it really doesn't matter, for me anyway. It really doesn't matter whether they come back or not. Either way, they'll just disappoint the fans all over again. So again, post comments below. Post in the comments below the question of the day: do you believe Sasha Banks and Naomi should come back to WWE? And why? Why yes or why no? With that being said, again, should they come back? I'm kind of torn. Again, I'm torn in the middle. But now the question becomes: is Liv Morgan going to join the Judgment Day? Wonder what that's about. So, if you guys do not remember, last week on SmackDown, the live crowd chanted "You tapped out" and booed Liv Morgan, and and as you guys know, she was literally cheered a lot by the fans. Ever since her rivalry with Becky Lynch earlier this year over the Raw Women's title, which also included her short-lived team up with Rhea Ripley, and apparently, as you guys know, Liv Morgan joined Judgment Day, thus betraying Liv Morgan, which was sad. And apparently Rhea decided to remind Liv Morgan of the boos by taking to Twitter, saying quote, the WWE Universe booing at Liv Morgan, fickle. Excuse me. Fickle. Liv, there's still room if you decide to stop caring about everyone's opinion. Hashtag join us. Hashtag the Judgment Day. Hashtag SmackDown. As you guys know, Shayna Baszler won a gauntlet match on SmackDown this past Wednesday for the right to face Liv Morgan for the SmackDown Women's title at Clash at the Castle. And with Liv Morgan's arm being the way it is, I have no doubt in my mind Shayna Baszler could potentially become SmackDown Women's Champion, and then Liv Morgan ends up joining Judgment Day. Honestly, I want to see that happen for a couple reasons. Number one is the fact that when she got called up to the main roster, she was with Ruby Riott, or I guess now Ruby Soho, on, what was it, AEW? I don't watch AEW. I'm more of a WWE guy than a AEW guy, but it's just from what I've seen on social media. But she was with Ruby Riott and Sarah Logan as part of the Riott Squad, and they were a heel faction literally throughout their entire time together. And by the time Ruby Riott was injured, the Riott Squad had just split. The Riott Squad split. Liv Morgan was a babyface. They changed her character completely from this wild child, from this delinquent wild child to a more mature, more confident woman, if you will, and Sarah Logan now, obviously, she has a kid, which is awesome. Riott is now with, again, as I mentioned, is with AEW. Rumor has it that Triple H wants to bring Riott back into WWE to reform the Riott Squad, which puts Liv Morgan at a crossroads. Does she join Judgment Day, or does she join the Riott Squad? My opinion, I think it's the Judgment Day. Again, because of the fact that it's not gonna be long until Liv Morgan gets booed by the fans week after week after week, and it ends up becoming a permanent thing. And so once she loses the SmackDown Women's title at Clash of the Castle because of her injury, she'll eventually take time off, come back, go to Raw, and join up with Rhea Ripley as part of the Judgment Day. Thus, they end up going after the women's tag team titles again, which is a possibility. But if Triple H does bring back Sarah Logan and Ruby Riott, bring them over to SmackDown, odds are she might join up with Riott and Logan as part of the Riott Squad, which is a possibility as well. But we won't know until after Clash at the Castle in a few weeks. So honestly, I don't really know exactly, if Liv Morgan will indeed join Judgment Day, because I know that that Liv Morgan treated Rhea, they treated each other like sisters, which was absolutely insane. Because if you guys don't know, Ripley was, felt the exact same way with Nikki ASH when they were tag team champions. This one, I don't think the team had ran its course. I think there was still a lot that they needed to prove. So I would love to see Rhea and Liv together in the Judgment Day. That's just me anyway. That's just me. But again, that brings me to the question of the day. Should Sasha Banks and Naomi come back to WWE? Yes or no, and why? Let me know down in the comments below. And that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want to see more WWE news videos, which get posted every Thursday, sometimes on weekends, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you guys do not miss out on any new content that comes your way. And as always, make sure you guys follow me on all of my social media. Links will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.